So that's the accompaniment for this particular song. It goes like this. You can take this hammer, you can carry it to the captain. You can take this hammer, you can take it to the captain. You can take this hammer, you can carry it to the captain. You can tell him I'm gone. You can tell him I'm gone. If he asks you, was I running? If he asks you, was I running? If he asks you, was I running? You can tell him I was flying. You can tell him I was flying. You can tell him I gone where the gray goose goes. You can tell him I'm gone where the gray goose goes. You can tell him I'm gone where the gray goose goes. Ain't never come back. Ain't never coming back. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. Take this hammer, carry it to the captain. Tell him I'm gone. You can tell him I'm gone. I ain't never coming back. And a guy asked me one time, he said, hey, when you're doing that song with a hammer, have you ever slipped and smashed your hand? And I said, not yet, and I hope I don't. All right, we're gonna move on to something else. The Lotus Cigar Box guitar. This one was made up in New Hampshire, a place called CB Giddy. CB for cigar box, Giddy for guitar. But this one's different. The other one was tuned in a regular open G tuning. This is tuned in a D tuning, and it's a tenor guitar. It's a higher pitch, and the idea behind it was this is really good for Appalachian mountain music, and I'm going to do a couple of those songs on it. First one's a song about gambling, and I think the last time I was here I told the story about my grandfather went to the big flying floating card game up in Mercer, and he lost everything. He lost his coat, he lost his ticket back, ended up having to walk 65 miles because he lost all his money and all his possessions. He was sleeping in culverts and all this, and when he got coming down the road, my grandmother was looking out the window. She was doing dishes, and she thought, who's this horrible-looking tramp coming down the road? And then she realized it was her husband. Anyway, this is a song called The Cuckoo that goes back many years in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. And because I've been doing songs from eastern Kentucky and kind of keeping that folk tradition alive, 2 years ago, I was contacted by the governor of Kentucky, and he granted me a commission as a Kentucky colonel for doing that. I didn't know anything about this. It was a real surprise. So you can call me Pastor Chuck, or you can call me Colonel Chuck, either one. was Cuckoo, till the fourth day of July. Jack and Diamond, I know that cargo still on of your silver. They'll try to take your soul. Well, my grandpa, he made whiskey, and he made it upon the hill, and he showed you half a gallon for $2. It's a Jack and Diamond, that Jack and Diamond. He's a hard card to play. He'll take all of your money, and he'll laugh and walk away. Well, for working, I'm too lazy, and what's the next verse? Working, I'm too lazy, and begging, that's too low. Train robbing, that's too dangerous. So gambling, I will go. It's Jack and Diamond, that's Jack and Diamond. I might know that cargo. It'll rob you of your silver, and it'll rob you of your gold. She's a pretty bird, how I wish she were mine. She never drank water, she only drank wine, and she only drank wine. The Cuckoo and Jack and Diamonds. Now, Jack and Diamonds, in the mythology of the playing cards, I'm not talking about tarot cards or anything to foretell the future, but in the regular playing cards, there's a whole mythology around the cards. And there's a bunch of songs about the Jack of Diamonds. One day I started to do a little research, and I found out that the Jack of Diamonds is the card for the devil. It's the trickster card. That's why it says in the song, you know, he'll try to take your soul. So watch out for the Jack of Diamonds. Now, here's a song. I've had people ask me about this song. They said, is it about Pittsburgh? The song's called The Banks of the Ohio. Now, it could be about Pittsburgh. But then if you go further down the river, it could be about Marietta, Ohio. Could be about Portsmouth. Could be about Cincinnati. Could be about Evansville, Indiana. Could be about Cairo, which is spelled just like Cairo, but they don't pronounce it that way. Cairo, Illinois, where it joins the Mississippi. So this song could be about any of those locations. That's a long stretch of, not highway, a long stretch of river. But it's a murder ballad that goes back to the 1890s, and it's called The Banks of the Ohio. Could go on just a little ways down beside where the waters flow, down by the banks of the Ohio. And though they say you'll be fine in no other arms entwined, down beside right over me, don't murder me. I'm not prepared for eternity. They say you'll be mine. In no other arms entwined, down beside where the water flows, I'm by the banks of the Ohio. I started home, he called me one. I cried, oh Lord, what have I done? I killed the only snow white dove because she would not be my love. And this is mine. In no other arms entwined, down beside where the water flows, down by the banks of the Ohio. All right, I got just a couple more to do. Just about right in the time frame here. Since I was inducted into the Rockabilly Hall of Fame back in 1998, and especially since that particular genre of music isn't played very much today, I'm going to do one of their I don't know what you call it, Rockabilly Hall of Fame greatest hits. And this song, I have to retune for it. It's a train song too. Richard Thompson told me one time, he's a guitar player, amazing guitar player, and he said to me one time, he says, well, you know, he said, I do this, I change tunings about 6 times in the course of a concert, and I was pretty amazed at that. I said, I'm lucky if I can change tuning 1 time in a concert without breaking a string or getting so far out of tune I can't get back in. What's happening now. But he said, you know, he said, I would do that a lot in shows, and I quit doing it because a guy came up right in front of the stage one night, and he was wearing a t-shirt that said, tune it or die. So he said he doesn't do that anymore. But anyway, this is the Rockabilly song, and it's a train song, and it was recorded by none other than the king of Rockabilly himself, Mr. Elvis Presley. And it was on the Sun label, recorded in Sun Studios in 2004. I had the privilege of recording an album called Down Highway 61. I happen to have a few of those with me tonight. Also an album called Blue Steel Blues, and one I did with Millie Raccoon called In the Tradition. So if you're interested, I have them available. But here it is. This is the song that my favorite Elvis song of all time. Train, train, come rock the bend, round the bend. Train, train, come rock the bend. It took my baby, but it coats go along. Train, train, 60 coats go along. In a long black train, took my baby away from home. Train, train, round, round, round. Train, train, round, round, round. Well, they took my baby now, but they never will again. Got up and down, down the line. Train, train, come down, down the line. Well, they took my baby, you know she's mine, yeah, she's mine. Train, train, 60 toes.